much progress can someone actually do in 30 days? I did Mandarin every day for 30 days. 8 burning questions right here. I'm going to answer them for you based on my experience, what I experienced. Hopefully you can learn something from it. So, what do we got first? Let's see. First question. What was the hardest part of the 30-day challenge? The hardest part was figuring out, what am I going to do? I was pretty anxious in the first few days, deciding what was going to be worth my time. Either a reading practice, a speaking practice, a listening practice, and deciding takes time. So when I have to put energy into just deciding, it's something that lets us lose motivation. And that's why before this challenge, I really avoided to do a really consistent practice. So that was the hardest part in the first few days. Not to mention, I realized that momentum is really the only thing that we need to overcome that hill of hesitation. After about day 4, I kind of got comfortable with just making a random decision for what I wanted to do and just going with it. Not overthinking it, just starting. Here we go with the next one. Why did you decide to do a 30-day Mandarin challenge? I got it from my co-host, Hank. He inspired me to do it, and I made the decision to actually do it because I was tired of not making progress. I felt like this because I started in 2021. I'm aware that Mandarin is a really hard language, but I expected more of myself. These expectations felt like chains weighing down on me. I worked on managing that, but I just wanted to be able to prove to myself that my teaching methods work. And I didn't put enough consistency to give the proof to myself. Not only my students, but also myself. It's kind of a self-trust thing. It was to help me gain trust with myself, but also to provide you with the simple practice that you can do, even with a busy schedule. I am a full-time teacher. I'm also a full-time student in university, and I have 5 dogs that I help to take care of. We all make the excuse of we don't have enough time. And I just feel that this is our self-limiting belief. We limit ourselves with this statement, I don't have enough time. We always have enough time, and we underestimate the power of just starting, no matter what. The funny thing is, I was tired in many of those days that I needed to do this challenge. Very tired. And when we're tired, we want to relax. However, since I forced myself to participate in this challenge a lot of the times, I would just say, you know what? I'm just going to open a YouTube video, pay attention to some listening, get some words in there. And that actually boosted me with some energy that I needed for the rest of the day, because I accomplished something. I checked it off of my to-do list for the day, and it gave me a sense of accomplishment. Before this challenge, when I made a promise to myself, I'm going to be more consistent. And then I would listen to the voice in my head telling me, oh, Hannah, you already work so hard, just relax. I just lied to myself because previously I said I'm going to be more consistent. And when my actions don't match that, I just felt so awful. I lied to myself. And that's how my confidence became weaker and weaker over time. And I saw this in those random moments when I needed to use my Mandarin with my students, and there was a lot of hesitation of forgetting the words that I already learned 5 times. Very frustrating. So that's why this challenge helped me out with that. Ready for the next one? Ooh, what is this? Oh, I forgot to mention. This envelope is the envelope, of which I will open at the end of this video. This holds the most important part, I would argue, of this whole challenge, or one of the most important parts. So wait for this one. I'm gonna open it. It's an envelope. We will see what's inside. So the one I pulled out just now is, how much progress did you make? Definitely, I had to dig a little bit to figure out what exactly I improved on. The awesome part is that I kept documentation of my progress. What do I mean? I wrote down all of my notes. I recorded myself. So I had record proof that I could watch, look at, and review to see the new words I learned, the mistakes that I corrected. And through that, I can gain that confidence. Like, yes, I did learn a lot. Not only that, but even my student Kelly, we had a conversation and he told me, Anna, I just noticed that you are able to express yourself more fluently. She noticed the change. And since she noticed it, that helped me to gain extra proof, like, okay, this is working. And I saw it in myself, even with, I don't know if you saw it, but day 15 and 16, maybe, I did the 5-minute challenge. I was able to speak more words on the second time that I did it. Very confidence boosting. I love that. All right, so this one, check. Hopefully you can also start to feel more like this. Are you considering this challenge now that I'm mentioning the benefits? Because you definitely deserve to feel like this. Like me. It's not easy, but it's worth it. You ready for the next one? Ooh. What is this? What did your daily study routine look like? I feel that routines are limiting for me. I feel constrained and limited. I don't like to stick to a very strict routine, follow exactly, especially because I like variety. I think most people do like to keep things different, fresh, fun, and I didn't want to follow something that's the same. I get bored easily. I like to do different things on a regular basis. I just made sure to do my practice in the morning. Here's what happened when I didn't do that. For the few days that I said, oh, I'm gonna do it later. What happened was 10 o'clock came around. It's time for me to go to sleep. I lay in my soft, warm bed, and right as I closed my eyes, oh no, I forgot my practice. And so I have to get out of my bed, grab my phone, open my journal app, and just get the random thoughts that I can speak about my day with a really tired mind. Maybe it's still good. I know that I did some kind of progress there. So it helped me to feel like, oh, I accomplished it still, even though it's just less than 10 minutes of a practice. Honestly, that 10 minutes is worth it. It's worth it. I used to hear people say that, and I'm like, oh, whatever. 10 minutes, what's that gonna do? But 10 minutes over the course of 30 days, that's a lot. That's 300 minutes. And in those 30 days, if I told myself, oh, no, 10 minutes doesn't do anything, that's 300 minutes that I lost. And frequency, I find, is really great. There's even studies done on this. So what did the study routine look like? Just free flow. Make sure I do it in the morning, right after my morning classes. I do have a 30-minute window, or I did have a 30-minute window before my breakfast. If you read the book by James Clear about habit stacking, you pair the habit with another thing that you already do every day. And so it's true. It works. All right, check. So what are you thinking so far about what I'm mentioning? How many questions have I gone over so far? I'm going to put a count to see how much is left here. Got 8 burning questions from you. So let's see what the next one is. Oh, there's one on my shoulder. How did that happen? Oh. Da-da-da. So, did you talk to native speakers? I did. A disclaimer. There's a disclaimer because the native speakers I talked to, they knew my level. They already knew my level because when I practiced with Nina, it was really clear that she was not very aware of what my level was. Her Mandarin is a lot more advanced than mine, and when we communicated, I was lost a lot of the time. And after those, I actually lost some confidence. If I leave a conversation and there's a lot of me saying, "Can you repeat that?" I lose a lot of confidence. I don't know if you can relate or not. So that's why I made sure to just practice with those who I felt really comfortable with. It gave me that safe environment. Actually, I did with Kelly and I also did with Jane. Jane is actually a Mandarin teacher, so it's different. One day, soon, I don't know how, but I am going to practice with someone who doesn't know my level, who is a native speaker, who maybe I'm meeting for the first time, and I'm right now I'm nervous about it. But no matter how nervous I am, I'm still going to do it because that will help me be less shy. Being shy keeps us from really great opportunities. So, I do not want to be shy. What is next? Every now and then I'm getting a little bit curious. What methods, resources did you use to learn? Resources that I used that are not just for Mandarin, I used Google Translate. I normally recommend people to not use it, but I use it in a way that doesn't let me rely on it 100%. I only use it for sentence pattern. I will find a sentence pattern, I will make my own, and I will see if it translates the way I want it to. Also, when I did my journal entries, I would do my free writing, free speaking, get the transcript, copy paste it to make sure it matched what I originally wanted to say. This is just for my personal checking, and I noticed some crazy translations, and I was like, that is not what I wanted to say. Helped me to be aware that I'm not expressing that in the most natural way, the word order, the grammar, the vocabulary, whatever it might be. Oh my God. I love using it like that. I used YouTube. I used Apple Podcasts. I used vlogs, videos from Taiwanese Mandarin teachers because they speak clearly, they use more simple language, nothing very technical, more daily life stuff. Now, I used music, but I really didn't like the music. Music has a lot of the poetry style language that we don't really use in daily life. For me, I didn't find the music learning practice to be very useful and practical for me. I did gain some knowledge about some vocabulary, but I didn't feel it was as practical as journaling or practicing with a native. I also made my own vocabulary charts with ChatGPT, and I also used ChatGPT for word explanations. I prefer asking a native speaker about word explanations, though, as long as they don't get too technical. Some people just get too technical with the explanation. I don't really mind about that. Just give me the general and that's it. It's fine. Oh, and just make sure you use I really recommend using a transcription tool. I was able to focus on clear pronunciation that way so that when it writes what I'm speaking, it writes the correct word. So I would do that with a Google extension. I'll put the link below. And even on the journal app on the iPhone, everyone has the little microphone where you can speak and it will text for you. Not only that, but even doing the timed responses, that was honestly my favorite thing ever. I put a 5-minute timer and I spoke as much as I could. I transcribed what I spoke. That was my favorite, my most favorite. Almost as fun as the chatting with native speaker. I don't know. Maybe they're the same because both of them are really, really awesome. Oh my gosh, only a few left for us to open this envelope. Oh my goodness. Are you curious to see what's inside? Hey, let's see what the next one. What's the next one? Did we not already do that? All right. Where is this one? This is the last question before we open the envelope, y'all. Oh my goodness. So, what advice would you give to someone considering a similar challenge? You know what? I'm going to pretend like you are me from the past. So, Hannah, please don't be so hard on yourself. I know that you want to prove to everyone about your progress. You want to show those results. You want to find the best resources. You want to put in so much time every day. But please just go with the flow. Do anything that you enjoy. Because as long as you enjoy it, it will become the most useful resource for you. Just because someone else said that something is a useful resource doesn't mean that this isn't. So if you like it, go for it. Don't care about whatever anyone else says. Because I know you don't like Duolingo, girl. Don't do Duolingo. Luckily, I didn't. And please document your progress. I know it's time consuming. I know it feels messy. Maybe you don't know how to do it in a way that's very clean and easy access, but just document it however you can. Video with your computer, video with your phone, audio recording in your notes app, in your Google Docs app. It doesn't matter, just document somewhere and you'll figure out what's easy for you. It's fine. But you're going to love looking back at that old progress and you'll find, dang, I made a lot of progress. And you'll be giving yourself that big round of applause, girl. And this one I really want you to know is record your voice. Don't care about how much storage you have in your phone. You don't need to do a video, just do audio. It takes up less space because the more that you avoid speaking, the worse your speaking is going to be. When you don't use all this vocabulary that you're using, you're losing your opportunity to make that fluency happen. I know it's scary to make mistakes in front of someone. It feels so embarrassing. You want to show that you've put in the hard work, and you are putting in the hard work. So be patient with yourself. You're really great. So, I think we're ready to see what's in this envelope, right? So, burning question. The last, number 8 burning question that we have here is, what's next? What's next? So for me, what's next is just, I figured out some kind of general goal. I'm the kind of person who recently doesn't like making goals, specific goals. I hear people say you need to make your goal specific. You need to make your goal measurable. I disagree. I disagree because when I did that, when I said, oh, I'm going to become conversationally fluent in 2 years, I'm not conversationally fluent. It's been 2 years. It's been 3 years, actually. We're going on 4 when we hit September next year. So I'm not going to make a specific goal. I'm going to make a general goal, something that I can control. I'm going to keep up with this daily practice as long as I do some kind of exposure to the language, listening on Instagram, listening on YouTube, whatever, just keeping my skills sharp and occasionally speaking with someone or with myself in order to do what? In order to be able to use it to network and make friends. That's one of the goals that I have. Hopefully, 2025, I'm able to network with more confidence and make new friends with more confidence, less fear, more action. And the other one that I had planned from the beginning is to order at a Chinese restaurant. That's the idea of what I had for the end of this challenge. And I didn't do that because I didn't do a lot of specific practice about how to order at a Chinese restaurant. I personally don't get very excited about that, at least not right now. I'm more interested in getting to know someone, making a friend, rather than just ordering food. But that's really the only thing that I can do here in Houston. There's not a lot of Taiwanese here. We have more Vietnamese than Chinese, even. So that's what's next for me. And I want to know what's next for you. Put it down below. I would love to see what's something that you have an idea for when it comes to your English or your language. What excites you? What struggles have you faced? How did you overcome it? Because I know it's not easy. We're busy. We got things to do. We have responsibilities. But isn't this so exciting? I hope you can get back in touch with practicing your language. I know that it gets lost, that feeling, that exciting feeling. Hopefully this video encourages you to get back on the horse and find that spark again, because you deserve it. Life is so exciting when we can communicate with more people, and you definitely deserve that exciting feeling. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts. On some other notes, if you want to be part of the audience that gets to participate in asking me these kinds of questions and getting answers from me, then I definitely recommend that you subscribe to the weekly newsletter, follow me on Instagram, and even I encourage you to join my Line group. If you use the Line messaging app, we have a group of about 30-something people where I share some updates occasionally and maybe some interesting videos and use English to talk about those videos, learn new words, new vocabulary, new ways of expressing an idea naturally. So, and if you subscribe to the weekly newsletter, then you'll get the weekly breakdown of some world news with a vocabulary explanation and a conversation question so that you can try to use that new vocabulary. That can be part of your 2025 goal, is to know how to talk about daily topics with people, what's happening in the world, with confidence, with a good sounding vocabulary. All right. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Speak on.